COVID. Just come out on stage
COVID.
and just drag that word out for a minute and 20 seconds and then walk away. That's what I would do in the next election, in the debate. Just walk out and go, a minute and 20 seconds. Vid. And walk away.
That's not bad at all.
and then end with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Fist in the air, fist pump.
COVID.
You're out.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, fist pump. O'Doyle rules. Politicians are worthless. Anyway, I forget what you were talking about. Why the head count and something?
Yeah, just that they're right now refusing to answer why they've changed. They've cut the amount of time that people have to, or for the states to be able to come up with their numbers. They've cut that by a month, and I just don't understand why does it.
Because for voter registration.
Well, I just don't understand how, why a month would make a difference. You just move your plan back a month, just start a month early, and you're fine.
Voter registration. If you count a certain number of people, then that number of people is allowed to vote in your state.
No, I get that. I just don't understand why anybody even cares about if it's being moved back. Okay, you're supposed to have your thing in here by October. Now you have to have it in by September. Okay, well, instead of us starting in March, we'll start in April.
It's hard
May.
to count
February.
a lot of people.
Just start a month early.
Remember, counting is hard.
Apparently. Adding 1 + 1 + 1 is difficult.
So that's a thing. It's America.
Moving over to Miami.
Why is it your Miami?
It's because it's mine. It's I should say. There's a very interesting thing that's going on. The U.S. has the fuck is he? He's a warlord from Colombia. He just completed a 12-year cocaine trafficking sentence in March.
Well done.
And Colombia wants to send him, or Colombia wants to have him sent back to Colombia, where the courts have judged him responsible for more than 1,500 acts of murder or forced disappearance.
And all you got him on was cocaine trafficking?
That's all the U.S. got him on. But meanwhile, the U.S. has an order that they're going to send him to Italy.
To get COVID?
And just to get, so he can get COVID there. I'm just, what? What? They said, well, if he returns to Cuba, he'll get killed. He's responsible for killing. He's a drug cartel warlord. I don't care if he fucking thinks he's going to get killed. He deserves. Fuck him. Come on. Come on. Seriously. Really? Really? This is really? You're not going to send him back so he can face crime, but you're going to let him run free in another country because he created a massive, decades-long conflict.
Yeah, you don't want to look like the country that sent him to Colombia to die, though. You can't. You got to make it look like you gave a shit before you send him to the country to die.
Why?
Because the people will judge you on that. Oh, you just sent him there to die.
People,
the world.
Who?
The world. Everyone in the fucking world.
Who's going to come to his defense?
Everybody.
Because nobody would.
Coming. Everyone will come to his defense and say America just tried to kill this guy. Everyone will do that to Americans. You and I will do that to Americans. Everyone will.
No.
Yes.
No.
We did it with fucking Osama.
Osama bin Laden. You know, when they killed him, nobody cared?
Everybody cared. They ate a lot of shit for that. People do that. That's what people do. You just killed him. People are shitty that way. They just want to be shitty. And absolutely.
The U.S. went into another country and killed him. This is handing him over to another government for another form of extradition so they could be.
And it will look like, because they will kill him. They're absolutely right about that. And it will look like that's why America sent him there. And when you got an election coming up in 2 months, you can't do that shit.
It depends on what your stance is going to be.
Unless your stance is, we want him to get killed, so we sent him to Colombia. If you take that stance, then that's cool. But you will lose a lot of votes. And that's all that matters right now is votes.
Votes, yeah. Trump wouldn't lose any more votes because his people are his people. They won't not vote for him for any reason, apparently.
Oh, I think that's flipping. That is a changing. This election's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun one. I'm looking very much forward to it.
Oh man, it's going to be like watching it's just going to be like watching a movie that just doesn't have an ending. It's just not going to stop.
It's going to be interesting what happens in America after January. You're right. It's definitely not going to stop. It's going to take a weird turn, though, I think. Like, weirder.
Yeah. Oh, man. All I know is that if Biden truly wants to win, just don't have any children on stage with him. That's the only thing I'll say. Just
don't I know
put
you're on the pedophile bandwagon with him. I don't see it. I'm
not saying pedophile. I'm just saying he touches them a little too much.
Maybe. I will not accept those photographs until they're verified. But I know you're on that, and that's cool. I don't think
it's not cool.
He's going to want to surprise. He's going to want to surround himself with kids and not touch them.
But he
tactic
clearly can't.
You don't know that. You don't know that unless you've been to one of his rallies and seen him do it.
You don't know that either, so you can't defend it.
I'm not defending him. I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying I do not know that to be a fact. And photographic evidence is no longer evidence.
Well, regardless, I will still think it would be a smart idea.
I am going to read
giving people evidence.
I am going to read out a name of a podcast, and then I'm going to spend the rest of this episode making a picture of you touching kids. It's The Photog Session is a bi-weekly podcast bringing you the latest in everything photography, news, camera comparisons, and even how-tos to help you become a better photographer mentally and physically. I'm assuming that's on Apple. Or wherever you're
just assuming this?
They didn't say where they're on, so check Apple first. And in case you didn't hear last episode, I'm not saying podcasts anymore. It's a podcast. It's on Apple. I assume you know to go to Apple Podcasts. I'm not fucking saying Apple Podcasts anymore. All right. Moving on to America was getting weird. That's what we were talking. America's going to get weird. Weirder.
And it's not stopping. There's a new her name is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has just won a seat as part of what the fuck is she part of the US House? Winning it over the US House seat. And this is a big deal because she is a huge supporter of QAnon.
Oh, good. Is she a Democrat or a liberal? Or a Republican, I mean.
She is... she's a Republican.
Okay.
And a whole bunch of other Republicans have all withdrew endorsements and declared her unfit for Congress because of this. But
good on them. They are correct.
But she still won the seat.
No more so than Trump. So.
Well, no, exactly. He's like the leader of it.
I don't think you can declare anyone unfit after you voted for Trump. After that,
that's it. You have the most unfit person ever right there.
The most unfit for anything human being and made him the leader of your country. You got nothing to stand on after that. But cool, whatever.
Yeah,
I
one of the
think
big
QAnon supporters are fucking weirdos too. Don't get me wrong.
well, one of the big things that got her support was the fact that she openly embraced QAnon for their belief that President Trump was waging a secret campaign against enemies in the deep state and a child sex trafficking ring run by satanic pedophiles and cannibals.
Yeah, he's apparently doing that.
Yeah. He has taken down more people in American government have been charged for sex crimes than any other time in American history.
See, that's groovy, but I want convictions, and I want people that matter to get convicted. Not it's all these low-level guys get convicted, and the high-level ones that don't get killed in jail, air quotes, seem to be skating on this stuff. So I want real evidence. I don't care you got charges against the whole house. If those charges get dropped next year, then they're fucking meaningless.
Yeah, well, that's
I
true.
Want to see convictions,
there have been
I want to see important people get convicted.
Have been a tremendous amount of convictions. You have a lot of jail sentences. You have a lot of there have been a lot that have already gone through. People have been charged.
Not the right people. But you're right.
But like you said, not the right people. But, you know.
Like all the big names that kind of sort of get implicated in this look like they're laughing at us right now.
Yeah.
Not us,
Clinton,
but
one of the biggest ones, but yeah.
Trump, that's something apparently he's doing. I don't know that he's doing it. I don't know the numbers before Trump. I don't know what he's active in them. Like it looks like he's doing something good, but I've learned throughout this presidency that it really doesn't matter what it looks like. It's something's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
So I hope.
Well, I stated up the numbers. I remember like last week when I first set this up, or 2 weeks ago. I mentioned I had the numbers from out of the 8 years out of Obama, Trump was only sitting at a few hundred less in convictions for child traffic or for sex or for human trafficking and sex crimes.
That may have absolutely nothing to do with Trump, though. That's what I'm sure. Like, I don't know where those numbers are coming from or what his involvement is.
No, it was basically just numbers of like, here's how many people were convicted of these crimes during this administration. Here's how many were convicted during this administration. And Trump, after Obama for 8 years, Trump's only been in there for just under 4. And he's already only sitting a few hundred less than Obama after full 8 years.
Yeah, but is that because does that have anything to do with Trump, or those convictions that Obama started and didn't finish? Is this something that has nothing to do with the president, and it's just a convenient number that they can throw around and say they're in charge of? I don't know.
The only thing I can say is these were all people who have been convicted or been charged since Trump was in power.
Yeah, but who started that investigation? That could have been investigated for 20 years before Trump came in.
Yeah, that's very true. That I don't know. So there's much more to find out, but
it might not be Trump's numbers. Is all I'm saying. Like, he can use them as his number. That's like when I say World Happiness Day was declared 2 days after this show started.
Yeah,
that's just that's a fact. That is a true thing.
It is a fact. That is an absolute fact.
I started this show. The UN declared it World Happiness Day. That's what happened on those 2 days.
Yeah.
I am not stating a lie. I am not stating anything incorrect there. That is just the facts as I know them. World Happiness Day started 2 days after this show. And you take that information and do with it what you want.
Yep.
And that's how they do it too, right? Especially during an election. That shit starts getting weird.
Yeah. Last thing to talk about with the U.S., because I do want to move away from America, because fuck you guys.
We got to move away from a lot of stuff. It's already well over the hour mark.
Yeah.
And I got
I'll very quickly go through a couple ones here. Okay. officials in a little